collecting. So when I'm selling things, one moment, I can, here, go in the background and just do some jumping jacks. So when I'm selling things,
to talk to.
Brandy, hold on, I'm recording something, and I don't care what Baby J did. So it's New Year's Day, 2019. It's what?
Serious.
Oh, we have a situation. What's serious? What's serious? Tell me.
Baby J keeps bumping into us while we're driving with that.
Are you kidding?
Stupid thing.
Hey, what word did you just say? Please don't ever. Sorry. Please don't say the S word. All right. We forgive you, don't we?
I run it like a point guard, Justice Curry, the trading toy guard. A Skeletor your bones apart and Rio blast you from the jump start.
Hey guys, Justice Curry with you. This one's going to be a unique, bizarre journey, an adventure, let's call it, through the world of mint-on-card G.I. Joes. Yes, mint-on cards. People have always commented on my wall, the wall of a complete 1983 to 1989 mint-on-card G.I. Joe collection that it took years in the making. I'm proud of it, and it's been a bittersweet journey. But as collectors, and we're gonna kind of go on a little tangent rides here and there, as collectors, we all go through our own journeys, whether it's He-Man, Muscle Men, G.I. Joes, Transformers, whatever you collect, whatever drives you with your nostalgia factor. And typically nostalgia is connected to your childhood, things that were important to you or you have fond memories of. Now for me it was G.I. Joes. I have many fond memories, even though I didn't have a ton of them. Sometimes my mom would leave me in the Ben Franklin's, which was like a craft store. Not leave me and walk away, but I would be in the toy aisle and I would be looking at these, these figures, and even though she wouldn't buy them for me, or when I did get one here and there for birthdays, I would stare at the card art and all of the other figures that were available and circle them and want them very, very much so. And I had friends that maybe were more well off that had tons of G.I. Joes, so I'd play with them. So when I got back into toy collecting hot and heavy about 7 years ago, right now it's well, it's gonna be 8 years ago now, but it's 2020, so just to give you a reference in case you're watching this 15 years down the road. So I've always been a toy collector up until high school, and then college, still collecting, and then I went, I got to become an adult, packed all my toys away, got a career into law enforcement, became a police officer, and I've been doing that now 16 years, but about 8 years ago, and if you followed my YouTube videos before, I've talked about my sobriety, like when I became sober, a new, more healthy addiction came into my life, which was toy collecting, met tons of awesome people, and started my journey. And like most of you, you start off with the ones that you like, and I got the 1986 Viper, which I enjoyed, and then got Low Light, and started buying collections and keeping the ones and selling the doubles, and slowly snowballing, not spending my personal finances, but selling off collections of maybe things that I didn't care about. I'm not a big Transformers guy, but I would buy a collection of Transformers for $200, sell it for $500, and then I would have that extra money to start purchasing loose G.I. Joes. Once I got a complete collection of 1982 to 1989, which took a year or 2, 3 years, I don't know, I started going down the rabbit hole of mint-on-card. I never thought in a million years that I would progress, especially not using real finances, but using flipping money to buy a wall, mind you, of G.I. Joes. And we're gonna go to why this Baroness is important in a minute, because this is all fresh and raw, what I'm about to talk about, and just the phases of collecting that many of you are at different phases that are watching this, and just some of the observations that I've seen throughout the years. I've collected boxes, and people go, well, why don't you have 1982 and 1983? Well, I'm more concerned with the card art, and since the card art was the same for 82 as in 83, it was just straight arm versus swivel arm, that doesn't bother me, and my OCD can handle it. I'm not a crazy stickler on condition. If it's mint on card, meaning it is connected, it's not re-glued, I will buy it. And I did. And over the years, I would upgrade my figures. So if I got a newer one, a better condition, I would get it. Your eyes are probably drawn to the Serpentor going, wait a minute, Justice, there was no Serpentor. Yes, that is a custom card. That is the only custom card on the wall, just because he didn't exist. He was only in the box set, which is around here someplace. But yes, there are a few foreign ones that I got from Argentina, you know, Ninja Ku and Satan of all things, they named him. But it's the same mold as Snake Eyes. I enjoyed it. I wanted to put it on my wall. And then some of the army builders down below. And then finally, a bats figure. Yes, love me some bats. I army builded bats. I'm gonna do another video why bats are important. And then there was some mint on cards that I included that are also foreign, such as this Tiger Force Outback. And here's another regular Outback. But you're gonna go, what? These are different. What's different? Well, this is the regular production one that most of you are familiar with. This is the Nordic one, where the Nordic countries had a weapons ban, so they couldn't prominently feature him on packaging art, so they took the gun out of his hand. And likewise with this, because they had to put the gun on his back, another Nordic. There's you know, the regular Action Force in the UK, the Outback, which had the tiger on the front, which is freaking amazing. His gun wasn't in his back like this. This was just the Nordic country. And then some specialty ones like the Target exclusives and the Listen and Fun Tripwire. I think I did also put a, let me move this giant alien thing here. Yes, a Zartan, because Zartan was not mint on card, or sorry, you couldn't buy him carded. He had to come with the Swamp Skier. Am I saying that right? Swamp Skier? I'll edit that out later. But this is the Takara, so the Japanese did have him on card like this, as well as the Fun School. I probably have a Fun School around here someplace. Fun School also put him on card. So I digress. Let me get to the reason that I'm even making this video in the first place. There are some of these carded figures that are a little more important to me than others, such as some came from an actual employee at Hasbro that my friend kind of acted as the middleman. I got provenance such as paperwork, and the reason, and I have the list of which ones are which. For example, this Cobra Commander, and all the ones I got from this employee have the same tall tale sign. Is there are little pin pricks up here on the top for push pins. So when the designers were researching or referencing past G.I. Joes, they would have them on the wall. Now they didn't care that, I mean, they made these by the millions, so if a designer was like, you know what, I want to look at what the Cobra Commander looked like, the packaging art from years prior, they didn't have the internet, they didn't want to go through the files, they had the physical one on corkboard in the wall, and they didn't, they just put, you know, holes right into the card. And then that designer kept all of them, and you know, he's an old man now and decided to sell them because obviously they're worth a bunch of money. He didn't realize it at the time, he just kept them just to keep them. So there are some neat ones that are in this collection. So yes, why am I making this video? Hooray me, I got a complete collection. So you get to different points and crossroads into your collecting, and some of you are gonna be mad at me when I talk about this and say you're not a real collector. Yes, I am. I bleed. I love vintage nostalgia. When you get to different points, as I mentioned before, crossroads. Like, okay, I got all of these mint on card. What do I go to next? Well, I've dabbled into the foreign arena, and that can get extremely costly, such as some, what are they called? Chaplin fun schools. There's like 5 of them with the Baroness, Lady J. They're all called something different. Fun school, Snake Eyes, which was blue. Some of these knockoff figures that are funny. Again, there's the Outback. Mixed in some just figures that I enjoy and some rare, unique G.I. Joes. There's the Major Blood back there and the yellow and blue, which is real neat. A Fun School tripwire that has purple and orange. An Estrella, what am I saying? Breaker, right? Breaker, yeah. My buddy from Hawaii sent that over to me as a Christmas gift, which is very nice to him. Some customs, Boba Fett, you know, all sorts of things that I like. So I go longer down the rabbit trail of collecting unique vintage or modern UK, Argentina, Brazil, all sorts of foreign ones. But they can get very costly and I like them. But where do you go? Well, luckily I also enjoy He-Man. So after I did this mint on card collection, I went to the Motu, Masters of the Universe line, because I'm really passionate about it. I love He-Man. I keep taking this off and you're like, stop it, just leave it alone. But I want to talk. I have a lot of information. I want to talk about a lot of things. So my He-Man collection. First, obviously, you work on the loose. Get a complete loose. And luckily, I had all my loose from my childhood. Those I kept in pretty well condition. And then I went down to the mint on card arena and started buying these up. Again, using flipping money, not personal toy money. It's not for everybody. It's like a freaking second job because I work a normal 40-hour-a-week job. So in my off time, instead of watching TV and fiddle farting, I was selling, buying toys nonstop for 7 years to be able to afford stuff like that. Well, through that journey, people have offered me money. Oh my gosh, I need that 83 Snake Eyes. Will you sell it to me? And I'm like, heck no, I'm not going to sell it to you. I'm a completionist, meaning I have to have all of them. So OCD, obsessive compulsive disorder, would start going bonkers in my mind that I had one missing. So I'd never sell those. It wasn't until, this is hard for me to, this is really raw because it's like actively going on as we speak. Yesterday at church, we were talking, I know people, oh, don't preach to me. Hey, I'm a Christian, I love Jesus Christ, I'm gonna preach a little bit to you. I just wanna say what kind of was tugging on my heartstrings and what's motivating me to make certain decisions in my life. Now, all right, mind, I know people are gonna unsubscribe, but hear me out. The payoff is good. So let's see, 1 John 2, verses 16 through 17, it says, for everything in the world, the lust of the flesh, the lust of the eyes, the pride of life comes not from the Father, but from the world. The world and its desires pass away, but whoever does the will of God lives forever. And then 1 Corinthians 7:31 says, those who use the things of the world should not become attached to them, for this world as we know soon will pass away. And there's other verses, I just wanted to mention those two, but the pastor talked about that, and he also made a quote of, following, worshiping Jesus. Is it simple? Yes. Is it easy? No. Like I said, most of my time went to flipping, buying, communicating, doing toys. So my relationship with old JC, not Justice Curry, Jesus Christ, kind of takes a back seat. And I'm having this internal conflict within me going, where am I going? What's this end goal? And one of my end goals with collecting is, like I told you, I'm in law enforcement. I want to not be doing law enforcement until I'm an old man, because I've been hospitalized several times from on-the-work injuries, fighting with people, being bit by dogs, just horrible traumatic things in my life that I've had to see people at their worst. And toys helped me. Obviously my relationship with the Lord helped me, but this is a nice outlet for for that real world stress. But I also don't want to be doing it into my late 50s. I don't want to be jumping over fences and chasing people and whatnot. I'm almost 40 years old, and I've had an epiphany. If toys can help me retire early, meaning put my 25 years in and be done. This is a plan in sand, it's kind of a plan. It's working out in my head. If they can help me retire early so I don't have to be doing that in my 50s, and I can retire theoretically at 47 because I'm financially setting myself up, if toys can get me to that next goal, so be it. It's not liquidating my collection, but it might be letting go of certain things. And while I'm dealing with all this stuff internally, a buddy reaches out to me and says, hey, I want that Baroness that you have on the wall. And I'm like, it's not for sale. Why would I sell it? It would make my OCD go crazy. And he goes, well, how about X amount of dollars? And I'm like, whoa. I'm buying all these, like 2018 when the Toys That Made Us came out, I think it was 2018, Joe's skyrocketed in price. They easily doubled in price. So I had bought all this stuff before the big boom. And toys are on roller. I mean, they go up and down with pop culture, with the Marvel movies, with the interest in geek. People buy it. So there's more collectors on the market, mean more interest. And if there's a limited supply, you know, supply and demand, prices go up. But those things wean and go up and down. And something on my mind too, eventually, when we all start getting into our late 50s and 60s and people start having hearts explode, and we're not making this work, we're going to die at some point. I know no one likes to talk about death, but none of us are making it out alive. And that's why I have my sights set on eternal goals with heaven. But I'm looking at this stuff going, it's probably going to start becoming worthless. I've talked to old men at the toy shows, and they go, hey, young man, see this 12-inch G.I. Joe? Because, you know, he had a table filled with tin toys and, you know, 1960s and 70s 12-inch G.I. Joes. And I go, yeah? And he goes, know when to pull the parachute. And I go, what are you talking about? He goes, see this one right here specifically? And I go, yeah. He said, back in the 90s, I could sell this for $400. I couldn't keep it on my table. He goes, I've been doing toy shows for 40 years, blah, 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 blah. He goes, it was a $400 G.I. Joe. And I'm like, okay. He goes, right now, I can't get $50 out of it. And it started clicking in my head. I went, really? He goes, yeah, my generation is dying. So as the generation dies, the supply increases, the demand goes down, and all the grandkids and whatnot are throwing them on eBay. So the market gets saturated with them, and this is an easy oversimplification. I'm sure there's other factors involved, but prices start going down because there's not as many people looking for them. So granted, I don't want to be stuck. Yeah, hypothetically, if this collection was worth $10,000, you know, the wall was worth $10,000 right now in 2020 money. My guess, predicting the future, it's probably going to be worth half that in my 60s and in my 70s. Half. It maybe even less than that. Unless there's other factors involved. Star Wars retains its value because there's an increased love in the younger generation for Star Wars. So there's going to be always collectors into Star Wars. Now, if G.I. Joe could successfully launch more movies or lines where younger collectors, you know, people in their 20s now and teens and whatnot, still love G.I. Joe and want to collect it like Star Wars. Star Wars is the unicorn. I don't know if that's going to happen. It's possible, but everything's possible, but it's not probable. Same with He-Man. I could make the same argument. He-Man, unless a big movie comes where the young collectors are going to love it, these things are going to start going down in price. I didn't buy this for an investment. I bought it because I love the G.I. Joes. And I'll always have it. I'll always keep them on display. But does this Baroness mint on card make me more happy than a loose Baroness? No. I like making armies. I like making battle scenes with my G.I. Joes. I enjoy that. So the interest is the same. The love of G.I. Joes is the same. I got all kinds of crazy stuff happening. I would love to fill up this whole room. And someday when my kids are out of the house, I will turn my entire house into a toy arena battlefield, which I'm sure my wife will love. I know I'm going on many different tangents and topics. Hopefully you're still listening, and it's all raw and fresh within me, and that's why I wanted to just be like bleh, and get it out. Plus I need to ship out this Baroness today, and I wanted to at least have video documentation of I still have a complete collection on video, so that helps me get rid of pieces. So it's therapeutic. Thank you for being my counselor. It's like a therapy session. He also, after I sold him the Baroness, because he offered me a good chunk of money. It wasn't just regular, and don't be messaging me saying, oh, after I post this video, hey, will you sell me this, will you sell me this, will you sell me this? This dude ponied up heavy amounts of money to go, I want that one. And I'm like, okay. He also pried this bat out of my cold dead hands. I was like, no, I don't want to let go of it. And he's like, ching, 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 ching. I'm like, again, goals. This was my goal, to have a complete collection. Now my goal is to retire at 47 years old. And retirement for me doesn't mean sitting back in my lazy boy, you know, eating potato chips. It means being able to travel the country and film your guys' collection, setting up at toy shows and talking. I can only go to a few toy shows around Michigan, in Kane County, in Chicago. I'll travel to that one. But constantly people are messaging me saying, hey Justice, would you come out and look at pictures of my collection? Would you come out and film this? Or come out and do a panel at this place or this toy show? I can't. I have a real job, real responsibilities that limit me from doing this. Plus this YouTube stuff is free. I don't make any ad revenue. I have a Patreon page, but I got a couple Patreons, people that give me a few bucks here and there. But that is, I can't live on that. Toys could help me get to that point where I'm not, fighting with society anymore. I love being a police officer. I'm good at it. I have a passion for it. But 25 years, I can be done at 20. And actually, it'd be 27 years with some other law enforcement experience. But yes. What else I want to talk about? Different phases of collecting. I've been doing it for a while. I've seen other collectors kind of do what they coined. I'm going to give credit where credit is due, even though he hates me. Joe Baylitz. Joe Baylitz coined them as tourist. Collectors kind of at a midlife crisis where they just, instead of buying a Corvette, they start getting into the nostalgia. Buy, but burn out in 6 months and a year, and then sell their whole collection, lose a bunch of money. So there's tourists and G.I. Joes. There's people extremely passionate. There's people that just do it for money. There's people that just collect, and people go, oh my God, I want a collection just like yours. I want this. I go, it's not going to make you any more happy. Collect how you want to collect. And these high-end toys, like I told you about, I'll make a link up above, and if I don't, remind me in the comments. My last video about toy addiction, I kind of talk about that. They're not going to make you more happy in life. My happiness comes from the Lord. Again, it feels like it's a church service, I know, but it does. This is empty. This is toys. Friendships I build through this is awesome. The sharing of my videos is another artistic way to express myself and to go through life with you guys as well, so I enjoy that. But ultimately, it's just plastic. Things will just fade away. But I love it. It still brings me comfort, still brings me happiness, but I know where my true happiness lies. So yes, I'm breaking up my Mint-On card wall. It hurts, but that's my motivation for doing it. Yours someday will be different. I know people that say, I'm taking it to the grave. I don't want to leave this collection to my kids. I'll leave a few choice pieces that are sentimental to me, but if my wife had to sell this collection, she'll get probably a third of the value, if that. If my kids had to sell the collection when I'm an old man, it's going to be worthless. It's not all about money, I understand that, but there's a factor where money helps people get to different places in life and what they want to do. This can help pay for college funds, retirements, retiring early, my goal, then so be it. So again, I want to thank all of you for watching me rambling on, but I think I gave a little good information, insight, at least what's going on in my head, and I've seen these same kind of patterns go throughout the community with other people. People sometimes sell their entire collection because they've made poor financial decisions, and they just have to liquidate it, or they lose their passion for it, or they're in the midlife crisis, buy, still feel empty inside, and sell it all. And there's people slow and steady that'll have all this stuff till the very end and leave it to their kids. There's so many different ways to collect and reasons and motivations. I highly encourage you to watch Plastic Crack. It's on Amazon. There's 4 episodes in season 1 right now. Hopefully there's going to be a season 2 in the near future. It costs like a couple bucks to watch, but I don't make a dime from it, even though I'm featured in it. I promise you, if you buy it, spend a couple bucks, buy it, watch it, and if you said, I don't like this, message me on Facebook. I will literally PayPal you the money that it costs you to watch it if you said I don't like it, because I'm that confident that you will really like it. And it just shows different collectors. It doesn't show who has the best, who has the most, but it has collectors from all over the arena: Star Wars, Hot Wheels, My Little Pony, G.I. Joe, He-Man, and I get to show a little bit parts of my family, and it's really wonderful. It's a really good journey. I love you all. Keep the faith. Be kind to one another. Love your enemies. I'll see you in the toy aisle. I stole that from someone else. Bye-bye. Oh, crud. I forgot to say this. So you looked at the mint on card wall, and I'm going through it, and you're like, but Justice, there's more figures that should be in the 83 to 89 release. Yes, there is. And I guess I didn't address it, but they are back here. So the subsets. So you got the Tiger Force, Python Patrol, and then Sergeant Slaughter Marauders, which were all just retooled in different paint structures to save on money in the 88s. Then the highly coveted Toys R Us, I believe, exclusive Night Force. A little shout out to Rich Tomasello that does an excellent Night Force shout out. And then way tucked behind there are the third cousins that I don't care too much about, Battle Force 2000s. So Night Force is right here. And since I mentioned Rich Tomasello, who is a wonderful, wonderful collector of the G.I. Joes, he goes on the Facebook group, and if you haven't joined, ARAH, so A Real American Hero, 1982 to 1994, join that Facebook group. It's got probably, I don't know, 16,000 people on it right now. But here's my bathroom, of course. Make sure I flushed the toilet. I did. Rich is I believe a high school art teacher, and for a small price, he will turn you into a G.I. Joe character of your choosing. And then he took all of them from, I don't know, a year doing it and put them all in this big battle scene on the flag. Yours truly was right here. Yep, the low light on Battle Cat with my signature wide open mouth. But a lot of cool guys hanging out here on the flag. So hit up Rich Tomasello. I'll also put a link to his page down below. And if you're like, Justice, what's going on with your bathroom? Oh, let me show you. These are a few of my favorite things. Muscle Men, big Muscle Man collector. Legos, fighting above the toilet. All sorts of weird wax. I don't know why I had this. I love BioShock. The time my brother and I were on an episode of Comic Book Men, talking about never-ending stories, some eggs that haven't hatched yet, and then, of course, a Predator mask. All right, I'm done now. I promise you, I'm done. Bye-bye. All right, I promise this is the last. I forgot that hidden way behind there of my shelf area was the 3-pack Sergeant Slaughter Renegades as well as Cobra La Team. Gotta show my complete collection before it's all gone. Hey guys, Justice Curry with you. I have a unique, strange episode. It might not be up your alley, and that's fine. I'm mainly saving it for posterity's sake. If you're watching this and you like vintage toys, you're probably like me and you have a nostalgia gene. Like that vintage toys from your childhood resonates within you and you like to collect. You like the warm fuzzy feelings that it inspires within you. But you know, you take it to a certain level and you get 360 degrees of collecting. Now, this didn't just start overnight or within the last few years. I've been a collector for many, many years. The day I'm filming this, and I might not even upload this to YouTube, I don't know. And if I do, then if there's only 2 people that watch it, that's fine. I'm saving it for myself, and if you want to learn a little bit more about me, this will be a fun video too, and we can go down trips through memory lane together. And what I'm talking about is, I saved a lot of things. Now, I don't want to be called a hoarder, but I battle that within me, like saving everything. But ultimately, I've been struggling with this for years, thinking, well, I'm saving paperwork from my childhood or childhood drawings. Are my kids really going to care about that? And someone about a year ago gave me a good idea, because I've narrowed it down to maybe 2-3 totes. And I'm going to go through one of these totes right now. I've narrowed it down, and someone said, you know, Justice, why are you keeping all this? Your kids aren't going to care about this. And odds are, when I'm an old man, yeah, going through it maybe once or twice brings back some fun memories. But why not videotape me going through it? And I have a record of it. I can look back at it. You guys, we're gonna have some fun conversations talking about some silly things throughout, you know, my growing up years. And it's saved. And then I'm thinking I don't have to keep it no more. I can A, have a giant bonfire and just Viking funeral it all, or B, I sell a lot of stuff to finance this collecting. So when I'm selling things, one moment, I can, here, go in the background and just do some jumping jacks. So when I'm selling things,
talk to.
Brandy, hold on, I'm recording something, and I don't care what Baby J did. So it's New Year's Day, 2019. It's what?
Serious.
Oh, we have a situation. What's serious? What's serious? Tell me.
Baby J keeps bumping into us while we're driving with that.
Are you kidding?
Stupid thing.
Hey, don't, word did you just say? Please don't ever. Sorry. Please don't say the S word. All right. We forgive you, don't we?
With us with that thing.
And special guest in studio with us is Alexis. This is my niece. This is my niece. We're gonna give a special shout out. Again, I get into a lot of tangents. What I was saying with all this paperwork that I'm about to go through, I'll probably either A, have a Viking funeral, or B, while I'm selling things. Nope, Alexis is gonna stay here for a second. Or B, while I'm selling things, I can throw in a piece of paper, you know, a piece of artwork, or a detention letter that I got, and it'll get spread all over the world. I'm gonna probably go with option number B. But before we start going, I'm gonna introduce you to my mom. We'll go. Oh, excellent. Yes.
Daddy, Baby J keeps playing with our bikes.
Oh boy. All right.
Leaving toys in the middle.
Oh crud. So we're gonna go upstairs real quick.
Subscribe to Justice Carey.
Yep. So hit that subscribe button. Thank you. She'll be my PR person when she grows up. See what happens. Well, there's the little monster right now, wrecking havoc. Kylo Curry. How you doing, Kylo Curry? Yeah. Hello, hello. This is my beautiful mother. I call her Deborah.
That's fine.
We'll use
Deborah.
We'll use a fake name then, okay? Okay. All right. I love you. Merry Christmas, Happy New Year. In here, We have the chefs that we hired for the evening. They were highly recommended. They're the and I'm gonna lose a bunch of subscribers. I'm kidding. So we're gonna go in here for a moment and go through a tote full of all sorts of memories. Again, I haven't looked through this. I haven't proofread any of this. I probably haven't opened up this darn tote in many, many years.
You can't get rid of anything in here.
And that's gonna be the problem that I'm faced with. Yeah.
Your mom's gonna be crying.
She's gonna be, all right.
What?
Mother, come into the frame here.
I can't get rid of any of this.
Well, then you can keep it. Come on, sit down, sit down.
Okay.
Let me turn this fan off. All right. A lot of things will be difficult for me to get rid of. And again,
Oh, this is impossible, Justin.
all right. The Times Herald, this is a, oh, don't get a hold
Why
of
would you
me.
get rid of these things?
Because I have a tote, and I just explained to the studio audience that no one's gonna care about this. I mean, they're gonna look at it at my funeral, my kids aren't gonna care about this.
Like you're 70 years old.
I don't know.
This.
How much do you care about your old progress reports from
This is gonna be
school?
one of your most controversial videos.
No, you don't.
No, but I want this for you, so.
Then you can take it home. Look, I have birthday cards that I kept probably from you in here.
Travis, he's got birthday cards. You gotta come over here and watch this.
All right, so
I
let's.
think you can learn.
He can watch this later. This newspaper, why I saved it, why it was important, was from May 13th, 1999, when I spent the night for Star Wars, when they redid, or not redid, but they did the, I believe this wasn't, yeah, the advance tickets at Birchwood Mall. This is in Port Huron, and people were lined up to go see Star Wars, and I was one of them. I think in one of the, oh yeah, I was so mad because let's see if I can get it to focus. All right, focus. Right about, oh goodness gracious. I was in high school. Oh, there it is, autofocus, and we are good. Fans turnout. The photographer for the Times Herald was walking away, and I said, come back over here, take a picture of my friends and I playing euchre. So there's Ryan Bell and some other guys we don't know, and we had some other buddies that weren't in the thing. They came over, and me being an attention whore even at a young age, they took the photograph of us, and all that was shown of me is my hand and my watch right there. And I think we got in trouble because we called in sick at, we were senior year or something like that, and then, someone from the school saw us,
That
or
can
at least
go.
Ryan.
That can go.
That can go.
It's already recorded for posterity, so it's fine.
I got cards for our birthday, son. Your goodness. And most of the time when my mother gives me a birthday or Christmas card, she will write a little note. She'll underline words like your goodness, underline goodness, and generosity, underline generosity, your strength, caring, nice things. This is when I turned 30 years old. The person you are now and always have been is inspiring to me. You are God's gift of hope and love. Love you forever, Mom. So she gave this to me. And I'm gonna send it, you know what? I'm not gonna burn this stuff. I'm gonna send it all over the world. Every time someone orders something from me, I'm gonna put this in there. Seriously. People are gonna get this.
And
wherever.
so when you become famous, they're gonna go, this will be worth a lot of money.
Yeah. I do not want to become famous. Some funny ones. I'm lucky that I get to grow old from you. As if I'm not crazy enough. My wife's talking how much I love me, and some old people right here.
This is all your going away pal.
Yeah,
okay?
this is, and then I kept,
Oh!
1983. I was a year and a half. My Aunt Beth gave this to me, and I think it was like this little,
Travis, you've got to see this.
this little Easter house.
Look.
Where you put it together from 1983. Aunt Beth gave it to me, and I don't know, he just made this little house. It was sentimental. I liked it. I kept it all these years. But why do I need to keep this now? It's captured on film.
This reminds me of someone I know. His aunt, my sister, sent this to him in 1983. It's a little bunny house, and he saved it.
Why? I don't know why I kept this. Maybe these are traps. I don't know. I'm not gonna keep it. More Star Wars paper. So May 16th, 1999. Phantom Menace, Episode 1, when Star Wars came out, and everyone's Star Wars crazy, including Moa. I kept these kind of newspapers.
I said one didn't. I didn't realize it was like this. I did not realize.
I don't know what I'm gonna do.
Oh, you gotta save your memories and stuff.
Some of the stuff I can't get rid of, but oh, I got book 20. I don't even know what this is. Little map of something. Yeah, this video, apologizing, it's not too dynamic. If you're just wanting to drift off to sleep, this might be a good video for you. This looks like my dad's handwriting. I don't know. Oh no. Ohio State coach. Oh, I got into, back in the 90s, I don't know if it was, the internet was starting to become a thing, and I was finding celebrities' addresses and mailing, little cards saying, hey, how you doing, blah, blah, blah. And they would sometimes send me autograph. I know this makes me sound like a crazy person, which I am. You are absolutely right. I would get things back. Like here's Jim Carrey sending me something. I'll keep Jim Carrey because that's kind of neat.
Oh, great.
Spank you very much, Jay Carrey. I remember sending something to Jim Carrey back in the 90s. He sent me this.
You gotta keep that.
And I don't know if that autograph is it kind of looks like it's real and not printed. Steve Burrow, I'm not a football guy. I don't know much about it. To Justin, you're Ohio. Yeah, Ohio, go Bucks. So I'll send this on to someone else.
This is the safe pile.
It's gonna get mixed in. Let's put the safe pile down.
What's this thing here?
I had Obi-Wan Kenobi's autograph. Whatever his, I'm sorry, I can't remember his name.
Legal, I just glanced over it. I couldn't really.
Probate court.
That.
Yeah, exactly. From 1986. I think my buddy and I, we heard something about, what's the big mob guy out of Chicago? I don't know his name. The guy that died in prison.
Oh, I don't know.
The bootlegger.
Oh, wow.
The most famous mob guy of ever. Al Capone.
Oh.
There was a house that my buddy and I discovered in Van Buren County, or the southwest side of Michigan, and my friend said, hey, this was like an Al Capone house, or one of his getaway houses, underground tunnels and whatnot. So we went to the library and did a bunch of research, went to court. We were trying to get names associated. I'm gonna end up getting killed now for making this video. But we were just curious on the history of it, and did some research in court documents and whatnot, trying to trace it back. And obviously it wasn't in his name, it was in his people's names, but we started getting some Italian people's names and people associated with internet searches, so it was cool that kind of got some verification.
Oh dear Lord, stack of cards.
I can't go through all these birthday cards, nor should I.
Just call it bye-bye. Unless it's from
Oh
your mother.
my gosh.
Oh, and then you can't.
My first church, Smiths Creek, Michigan. Oh my goodness. I can't. I'm gonna end up just going through this and not getting rid of a single thing. A little old, feeling bad, get well, Lindsay Smith. Oh my gosh, old.
You know that
cards.
you know that you were the starter.
Wow.
Every single game, 7th grade.
It's your birthday.
12. Do you want to save your birthday?
I don't need to keep my rest.
No, because you know that you were that.
I know.
You're a good football player.
I mean, some of these, I literally kept all this stuff from my childhood. No, I don't need it. I don't need it. Care Bears. Oh, My mom got me, what did you have me into Care Bears?
That might have been Amanda's. I don't know how it got in there.
No, you and Aunt Mary would give me Care Bear stuff. I can't save any of this stuff. I don't need birthday cards. Some of it's neat though. And that's the problem, even though I'm telling you guys I'm gonna spread it around the world and whatnot and put it into packages that I ship out, I probably won't. I'll be like, oh, I can't get rid of this.
Yeah.
Do I need my diploma?
Justin,
Yeah,
Travis has a better idea for you.
okay.
Make
What?
a time capsule.
Make a time?
All that stuff you're gonna throw away, put it in a box, time capsule, bury it for your kids to dig up someplace.
Yeah, but
Now
do you know
that
how big
would
it would
Long way
be?
away.
That would be a good idea. I'm
But I
gonna
mean-
do a time capsule. I like that. But here, did you hear my idea
It's
too?
gigantic.
So I ship things all over the world to people when they buy toys from me.
Right.
Then I can just
Throw in.
put one thing each time someone orders, so I spread a little piece of me throughout the
You're
ages.
scattering your ashes.
It's like scattering my
Before your
ashes.
ashes.
Exactly. And some people, I bet you, probably 3% of the people actually keep it and put it in their
That's
collection.
for them to get rid of 20.
I'll sign it. So like, hey, this is
You know
a weird
what? I have another
YouTube
idea. I have another idea.
dude.
Okay.
It's backfiring on me.
Okay. So here's my idea.
Here, come around so you can talk. and
No,
you
I
can see.
haven't showered today.
I haven't
So
showered in a week, so that's kidding. There's a gas. Like I'm serious.
take all this stuff. If you're like, no, I'm gonna get rid of it, burn it and make it all into ashes, and then keep the ashes.
Why would I keep the ashes and then
The
eat it
ashes
so
of all
it
your
becomes a
memories.
part of me?
Yes. There's a My Strange Addiction episode about that.
Brandy, kids, come up. We need your ideas too. They're probably opening my Midnight Card
There
figures
was-
downstairs.
Yeah.
But I mean, I kept these little tiny
There's
memory
Dr.
books.
Pavlov.
Like-
Got a detention in the back. He did something.
Yes, I kept a detention. October 13th, 1998. It's a school night. I'm looking through one of my drawers and decided that I have to do something with all these old papers. So 20 years ago, I was also struggling with this very same thing of keeping paperwork. I think I need to do with something and other junk that I save. So I figure when I get older, I'll end up throwing it all away. Oh my gosh. Because I won't remember what it means to me. I'm tired right now, but I guess I'm gonna put all this stuff into some kind of order and put it in here, so bear with me. And I spell bear, B-E-A-R, which is probably the same way I would spell it today, so what's wrong with that? Like my dad. My dad would lend me money when I was a kid, and I would have to, oh, he does throw everything away. But I would have to work it off by going outside. He paid me $5 an hour chopping wood and whatnot, and that's how he got me into the mindset. But we had like a log every day, 1:21, 96, 1:26, 97, 1.5 hours. So I'm working off payment. I had like a ledger of
You remember all that?
stuff.
That's good stuff to remember.
Justin's. I mean, I got an application for employment
Okay.
for Burger King.
Do you want to keep
So
that?
Josh and I got an application,
Okay.
but never turned them in. So I have my application at Burger King and never turned it in. Why do I keep this?
Why?
All right, this has my social security number, so I probably shouldn't put this in the go around the world bin.
No. Oh no, I thought that was burned, but I guess you really are going to send it.
I'm gonna send
Who
it.
gave you a
I'll make
Care
it
card
deal
again,
with
me and Mary?
I
Where you
don't.
come out.
You know what? Maybe when you were
My
little.
shopping list.
I mean, I
I'll
got
have everything on hand. and you
time
can-
cards that I kept, IRS paperwork that I kept.
This is your grandma giving you Care.
I know. Oh, and Kristen Conant and I would make these funny pictures. Like I was doing redonkulous things even back in the day, where we'd set up these scenes when we were like 14, 15 years old, like we were an old married couple with drinking coffee, which we weren't even drinking coffee, and I'd write something. This book belongs to Kristen and Justin. It's my high school prom date, Aubrey. I'll have to show her this video, she'll laugh. We love the Chicago White Sox. Dressed in like total dorks and playing pool, and this was our Terminator phase. Like the Terminator, pretend that we're going to the bar. I mean, just 1995, I was 14 years old. Woodstock, pretend that we're doing Woodstock. All sorts of fun stuff. What else do I got? Just, I can't get rid of that book. That book I can't get rid of.
I think most of that might go, right?
I can't get rid of a photo album.
Are there pictures in there?
Yes.
Oh, you can't ever get rid of any pictures, Justin. Can I see the pictures?
Yeah. Elizabeth doesn't say. Love notes and cards from Liz and I. And I said, P.S. Elizabeth doesn't save the cards I get her. Also letters and cards from Mom, Amanda, and work.
What cards do you have from work?
I don't know.
Look at this, you called us. Remember I told you about
Cash and care. Yeah. So I'm gonna send all these love letters
Around the world?
around the world. Around the world, around. Magnum. Cedar Point, the Magnum.
I have a difficult time getting rid of
I'm gonna, but it's gonna feel good. I don't care. I need to get rid of stuff. There is me captured on the camera at Cedar Point, Sandusky, Ohio. It's getting sent out. Time cards from 1990. Oh, I gotta show Aaron this. Nope, don't save it. Don't save it.
What?
Community college, everything I want to save. A little piece of art that I drew when I was a kid. There's gonna be probably a ton of art in here.
Oh my goodness.
Looks like one of my, wow. November 6, 2001. I wrote a paper because I was in college when September 11th happened. I said America's New War Front. Whoa. September 11th will be a day that most Americans will never forget. The devastation and destruction that America saw impacted everyone's life. The U.S. nation has to make sure that nothing like this happens again, and for the next attack from terrorist groups could strike cyberspace. Oh my gosh. So predicting the future. Cyber attack that was well planned could cause more chaos than the planes that crashed in the World Trade Center. There's a new threat on the horizon, and the American people in the wake of September 11th preparing for cyber attacks. Yeah, I wrote a whole thesis type paper about cyber attacks. Right
Okay.
Oh.
I'm just reading your journal. Your private memories.
We got
No.
time on you to go on.
Pretty much.
No, these
Oh, yeah.
In the
Yeah, that one. I can't. Proud of this one. Check that out. Little Super Metroid that I copied. This was from a Nintendo Power, I believe, episode, which I don't think I traced it. I think I looked at it and just basically copied it and then colored it. That's neat. Can't save this stuff. What am I? Well, I'll put the stuff in my art room. Starting, I'm keeping everything.
You are?
No. Some of my artwork. I love doing art. A comic that I wrote, back in elementary school, that I called Blade Man and Deadeye, The Fight. I believe my buddy was Blade Man and I was Deadeye. And Deadeye had a dead eye. Like, see his eye hanging out from his head? This is a good comic. This is my first. The Fight.
So, 1 pound
Yeah.
of Dragon Soda,
Public by Kenny
and that's a 4 pound.
and JC. Illustrated by yours truly. You all remember when the Eliminator was trapped in the crate with a time bomb in it? Will someone save him? One day, Deadeye saw an article in the paper that said Eliminator was trapped in a big crate with time bomb on it. So I got my big crate that I drew. It's underwater apparently because there's some bubbles right here and there's some time bomb, ticking time bomb. Deadeye said, I must save him. This is my kind of guy. So Deadeye went to the ocean, dived in after him, and he laser opened the box and got him out. When Eliminator was out of the box, Deadeye blasted up to the surface just in time too because the crate had just blown up. The Eliminator thanked Deadeye for saving him. Yeah, one of my old comics. It does smell really, really good. I think this was another piece of the Eliminator right there that I drew. The Revenge. I'm back. Yeah, this had to be like 3rd grade or something. I gotta put this with my collection of comics. You remember
That's
this one,
because
Mom?
you made the. Oh my
We got
goodness!
this
Why
put
do
up
I remember
in the,
this?
because it got put up at like the city council. I took little hole punches and did color pieces of paper.
My talented son.
And then I glued them. It was for an art project at school, and the art teacher submitted it to like the city council, and they put it up in the library or
You
something.
should sign it so when you send it all over the world, they'll know it's the Justin
one's
Perry
gonna-
original.
No one's gonna care.
Justice free. You got an A minus.
And a minus?
I don't know.
I need to figure out who that teacher is. I gotta just give him a piece of my mind.
Yeah.
I was a huge Far Side fan, so I'd recopy some of their artwork. This one
Just
says,
Justin Curry's life.
all right. See, Frank, keep the light in their eyes, and you can bag them without any trouble at all. And then an alien ship that I also loved Aliens back in the day. Oh. One of my favorite Far Sides as well was they're all on a deserted boat. Fair is fair, Larry. We're out of food. We drew straws. You lost. You got Larry with the short straw freaking out. And there's a freaking dog. That's getting sent out. Oh my gosh.
This is getting sent out?
Oh, that boat. I don't
This
know
is
what
pretty crazy.
What is it?
Justin Curry's.
Oh, my life from 1994.
You remember it was from 1994?
Well, it's dated down
Oh,
there.
I didn't know you saw it. Oh, this is important. You can't send out your copies of your social
No,
security
no.
card. School.
There's,
This you should.
look at that. Look at that handsome fella right there. My life. What of my life?
Pretty interesting.
That's a nice handwriting. Back when I was 13. Check that out when they made us write in cursive. They still make kids write in cursive?
All right, we'll just keep this because these are all important papers, things that you
Yeah,
can
just
take
throw them in
copies
there.
of.
I'll go through some of this. As the roller coaster swooped upward in a flash. Swooped down. Hey, what are you doing? Swooped downward. Written over Justice's face. Justice loves to ride on roller coasters at Cedar Point.
I don't remember that.
This is going out. There's more artwork.
The Jogathon coloring contest.
Oh, I think I got second place.
No.
Well, fourth place. Fourth place. You had to color in this, and then they had a little ceremony at the end, and whoever got the best one got this huge box. I remember that. Huge box of crayons. And second place got a smaller box. Third place, and then by fourth place I got like a personal pan pizza or something. I don't know. Oh.
Importance.
Dinosaurs.
Oh, this is pretty. So you drew this
And my
because
mom,
of your dad.
remember? Yeah, my dad is was just recently retired from Southfield Fire Department. So, I had an inclination to become a firefighter when I grew up, but I did the more noble thing and the harder thing. Became a police officer. Kidding, Dad. And it's a little jab at firefighters out there. 'Cause I'm jealous. I'm jealous that you get to sleep and everyone loves you and people hate me. Look what I kept. From 1996. My mother would write on our calendars at home, like real detailed notes of what we were doing, what we did, days, because my dad was on 24-hour rotations with work. And I kept, look at that.
Okay,
all
those
the
were like
calendar.
a journal of your childhood, really.
What I
It was
definitely,
the best way to do it.
yeah, it was. But that's just stuff I'll rip off a page and send it out. People are gonna be mad. Like, what are you sending me this junk for? And we're like, it's not junk. It's my life. Can't get rid of this. Not trapper keepers, but folders were a huge part of every kid's life. And if you had a cool folder, you were a cool dude. This artwork on this particular folder was one of my favorites. There's another really neat one of a bee. Did you see that bee one?
Did you make up these monsters, Bulleye and Whittle, or did you just draw them after? Or did you make them up? Monster spider?
I just made some different
Bulleye.
hieroglyphics.
Oh, this.
A lot of it's
You
just my
had
art.
Carbopus.
Carbopus. I don't know where that came from.
That's pretty cool.
Framed feet. They better have the person's name on the bottom of these feet, because this won't.
Spider pillar. A spider pillar?
Now, what good does foot impressions do if I have no idea?
Well, you should know that every foot impression is different, just like the
These feet impressions
finger.
are going in the around the world. Oh, I never finished it.
Look.
I need to finish that.
Send it away and somebody else will.
Yeah, no way. This is one of my pieces of my childhood. I specifically remember doing this in 1st or 2nd grade. They gave us this little mummy and said, color it in how you see fit. So I made it like a rainbow, and never finished it.
Oh yeah.
Keeping it. Superman's getting sent out.
Definitely not always.
Made an alien.
A weird little alien.
This is a feudal,
So I think I lost my mom. She doesn't want to help anymore. I said, we'll never get through this. What's that?
I'm coming back.
Oh, I got some codes. Oh, I remember drawing this. Gosh, there's some neat artwork in here. White Sox, Superman. A lot of really neat pieces. Oh, check that out. That's how I envisioned I would look like when I grew up. Commando. Oh, this half cyborg, half demon thing I drew. Love doing this. Weapons. A little ship that I cut out.
I'm not gone forever.
I remember my buddy Casey Cardy from Prop Shop. He was obsessed with Popeye, and he was a much better artist than me. That more than likely was done by him. On top of being a White Sox fan, I enjoyed Tasmanian Devil. One of my things.
And you like that special thing.
Yeah, I like drawing. A building on fire, apparently.
Oh, here's a big
My
machine.
inner-
Poison gas.
Remember me drawing? And this
All
is
the
that
time.
weird, what would you call this paper? It's like
Construction
it's
paper,
like
they
a
call it.
thicker type construction paper. And I would draw these massive machines with guns and war and all sorts of things happening. You laminated a number of them. It's fine, I just need to keep one.
Yeah.
Yeah, Matt
Borowski.
Borowski.
Yeah,
He would have been 10 years old when he wrote this little
Well,
thing
if he
called
gets
Pals.
famous, you need to keep that.
Justice and Matt, is a great friend to me. Our birthday is on the same day, September 11th. We both like baseball. Justin wants to be an ocean photographer. I wanted to be an oceanographer. That was like my first pursuit that I kind of wanted to be growing
And you
up.
have and scuba diving and
I'm not sure.
No, that's cool. I need to a picture of that too.
Met here.
Old Borowski. Oh, this is another one. I showed you the folder of a bear and that baseball, and this one's really, really cool. One of this bee, tactical bee with a flight helmet. Some more generalized artwork inside. I don't need to keep all this stuff. Artwork's getting sent out. Letters.
I know, I read it.
We can't talk about that one. Let's just say some of our family members didn't make wise decisions in life, so I had to send letters to not that most ideal place. Praying mantis. Other artwork. At some point in life, I think it was high school, so 9th, 10th, 11th grade, we had these little student planners. So they wanted us to be more responsible and write down when we had tests. And they acted as our hall pass as well. So you had to always be walking around with your planner. Well, I took it upon myself that each year I would make my planner like more, I don't know. I liked decorating the outside of the planner. Let's just say that. So this one I decorated by putting a Star Wars thing. It's probably from the Star Wars keychain. And then I worked as a dishwasher at a Chinese restaurant, so I saved the fortune cookies, and then I taped all the fortune cookies to the back of this. Yeah, all sorts of fun stuff. More birthday cards getting sent out. Don't need birthday cards.
Send away.
Yeah, send away. Another.
Fireside.
What?
I'll run down and see what's up.
All right. Far side. I can't get enough of this. So as you can see, there's an investigator to the right, and there's a rather large elephant man and a butler. And it says, and the murderer is the butler. Yes, the butler. I'm convinced he first gored the colonel to death before trampling him to smithereens. Pointed out. Wrong person. Donnie Barkhouse, one of my buddies, who I talked with recently, who's living in Japan. Good for him. I am proud of you. When I was 15 years old, my parents wrote a little proud of you. Oh my gosh. 3rd hour, I wrote a thing called The Hitchhiker. It was dark and rainy night. 2 boys, Bill and Ted, had just got done with their weekend camping trip at Old Gray Mountain. They were both very tired from backpacking in the mountains, but suddenly Bill spoke up. You know, Ted, this road that we were on is called Old Hitchhiker's Lane. Yeah, I heard about it. The rumor has it that an old guy who'd just been let out of prison has been trying to hitchhike, and a couple of people pulled over to let him in, but saw a knife in his hand and slammed the door on his hand, and it got chopped off. I also heard that he uses a hook in place of his hand, said Ted. The 2 boys kept on driving. Cold chill passes through them. All of a sudden, the car starts to slow down. Why are you slowing down? Said Ted. The car is slowing down by itself. I knew I should have taken it to the shop, Bill says. They both looked at each other in disbelief. Don't worry, I'll take care of it. Blah, 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 blah. Turns the key. There's someone outside. Hurry up, punch the gas, Ted yelled. I'm trying, says Bill. Right as the stranger grabs the door handle, they zoom off. Both of them don't say a word. The whole way home, they pull into Ted's driveway and get out of the car. When they get out of the seat, Ted nervously says, Bill, better take a look at this. They both stared, looking at the door handle and the bloody hook that's hanging from it. That's neat. Oh, more of my art. Probably kept some Nintendo Power things.
Trying to be creative and then, like, you know, interesting stuff too, like this right here. I'm going to my kids.
Without power, you're playing at half speed. Get you to send in your money for a subscription to Nintendo Power. More Nintendo Power subscription stuff. Grim Reaper. all sorts of treasure.
What are you doing with them?
Oh my gosh, that? Show it to my mom. Valentine's Day stuff. Never got around to coloring it, but I was interested in serpents and voyages. Cadet, you know, I'm in law enforcement, but I started off in Port Huron, and cadet and explorer in Port Huron. So there's a pamphlet, program information. So if you're looking to get into law enforcement and you're young, cadets and explorers are the way. Lots of papers. My homework. I love drawing and doodling on my folders. And just various, talking about my heroes in 1993. My dad's my real hero. He's always there when I need him. He works for Southfield Fire Department. Talk about canoe trips. There's another folder that I colored in. Oh, this folder is one of my faves. Check that out. Love it. Jam-packed with, I'm guessing, artwork.
Really?
Oh, Don Barkhouse, the guy I just mentioned that's in Japan. He went to school for studying
I'll be back.
art and whatnot. Became like a professional. I don't think he still stayed with it, but when he was young, like you saw some of my artwork, subpar. His was excellent. Like his stuff, I strive to do it like his. And oh my gosh, just really neat artwork. And he would give it to me. I would be like, save your artwork, I want to look at it, I want to keep it. And he was just a kid doing this fantastic stuff. Like there's a dog on a cliff barking at a hot air balloon. That's definitely what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna send this all over the place for the Loch Ness Monster. I love that. Focus. There we go. The Loch Ness Monster. The one piece I'll save. Keeping that. Oh, these kids are self-destructing. Art. Beckett. Oh. I don't have the actual Beckett's. Beckett's were the price guides for baseball card collecting. I collected baseball cards all through elementary school, middle school, and this is how you priced them when you had Beckett's. The big freaking scam, they mass produced them. They're not worth the paper that they're freaking printed on. Every penny that I made from birthdays, Christmases, all went into baseball cards. So did, 20 other million children. They'll never be worth anything, even when kids or adults now go, I still have them. I'm gonna save them. 80s and 90s baseball cards never be worth anything. Just the way it is. The stuff that's worth money back in the day, it's because people didn't save them. And there's a small supply of them. But whatever.
Again, now I just heard it.
Artwork, Wade Boggs, oh my god.
Yes, you did.
Yes, Mr. Smarty.
You know what? I did finish that. I guess I did make the
You know what?
the Pharaoh. This one's a little bit different because the other one had a different weird combination. This one's a little bit more.
Can you turn off your camera so we can?
No. Plant cell. I'm almost done. I can't stop. Because I'll never start back up again.
I don't think we're halfway through, Justin.
I know.
You gotta keep this for.
Alright. I went through the most of it. Memories. I'll look at all. I'll look at it again while I'm going through it and sending it off. Maybe I'll do a part 2 of this video. Again, I'm gonna lose subscribers, I know. And if you've stuck with me and you watched this entire video, bravo.
And you may get a card.
Yes, you might get a card. My Patreons will get a card, so if you want to check out my Patreons, There'll be a link in the description. Love you all. Be nice to one another. Enjoy your family, even if they're not the best family. You know, we can't pick our family, and people sometimes will do bad things. We were talking about drama within other family and offshoots. You can't control that. All you can do is control how you react to the situation. So we're all human. We're sinful. We make mistakes. You gotta forgive. You gotta keep moving. Because holding grudges just destroys. Love you. Take care. God bless. Bye-bye. Any words of wisdom before I turn this off?
Not really.
Not really.
Yeah, you have them all.
All right, good. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
Patreon. I know I don't plug my Patreon enough. Patreon's kind of a thing that people can support me by sending $1 or a couple bucks and get a few perks. If you want to do that, I'll put a link down below. And yeah, and helping me on the journey. Because again, I do all this stuff for free. I'm not looking to get rich because of the YouTube videos. I don't put ads on these darn things. I do it because I want to have fun talking with you guys. But there are a few Patreons I want to personally give a shout out to. Let me give a shout out. Also, a special shout out to Josh Miller. Josh, you know why I'm giving you a shout out. Thank you. Ivan Gonzalez, thank you. Ivan's an honorary Patreon because he sent me this really neat Ninja Turtle stitching artwork thing that I have framed in my laundry room. Kevin, I'm gonna say all these words horribly. I can barely pronunciate real words, real American easy words, and then I got Patreons that are from other countries supporting me. Kevin Schrumpter, Russell Davis, Jamie Ganaz. All these, I've mispronunciated Patreons, and they've like, I'm canceling my money. I'm canceling the $1 a month I give to you because you insulted me because of my last name. I'm sorry. Adam Burkett, thank you for having an easy name. Corey Lang, check out Corey Lang's. My intro that I normally use with me on Battle Cat and showing all the toys and whatnot, stop motion animation. Corey Lang does he has his own YouTube video, and he makes many of those stop motion things, and he has me doing some voice acting on them. They are awesome. I'll put a link to one of them above. Again, if I forget to do that, put something in the comments and I'll edit it and put it in there. Also, I'll put a link to his page in the description below. Please subscribe to his channel. He's a cool guy. And David McMullen, Ari Patronin, one of my buddies, and oh God, I talk to him all the time. He's in law enforcement in another country, but I butcher his name every single time. João Albano Petrano Avaio. Am I close? No, I'm real far away. My wife is gonna kill me podcast, even though they all hate me and they use their opportunity to beat me up in their podcast, they're still my friends. And I support their podcast. They're good guys. They just started a Mythic Legion podcasting. If you don't know what Mythic Legions are, they were a Kickstarter. I think they're on like Series 3 right now. This is a crossover from Battle Cat. Kind of made them look crazy, but there's orcs and wizards and all kinds of cool things. Thought I had one on package. Oh yeah. Mythic Legions. I don't know, they're neat. I like them. Cool stuff. But yes, if you want to support Patreons, check out Patreons below. I love you all. Keep the faith. Be kind to one another. Love your enemies. I'll see you in the toy aisle. I stole that from someone else. Bye-bye. Through some of this paperwork, but I wanted to give a special shout out to a wonderful YouTube channel that my niece Alexis does, and I'm going to put a link in the description. Now, it may not be all of my fans that are going, oh, I want to go to this, but if you have small children or kids in her age realm,
well,
what's your YouTube?
It's like gaming, kind of. Like, I like gaming. Sometimes
what
I do
games
unboxing,
primarily?
Like Roblox, Minecraft, you know, Five Nights at Freddy's.
Okay, and people love watching other people play video games. This is like millions and millions of people will watch videos of other people playing video games. And Alexis here does play those games that she just mentioned. Now, now again, there'll be a link to her YouTube channel in my description. And what's it called, just in case they want to type it in?
Space 3, but the space is not actually a word, it's the space bar.
Okay.
Though you may not see any videos on my channel due to me redoing it, I unlisted all my videos, so
What?
you see.
So what are they gonna watch?
I'm gonna upload some when I get home.
She's gonna upload some more. So stand
Yeah, I'm
by,
gonna do it
she's
with
gonna
my friends.
upload some wonderful things. How was your Christmas?
Amazing. I got a gas-powered go-kart, which I'm gonna use my action camera with to upload a video.
You are kidding me. How was your Christmas, baby?
Good.
Come on into the frame.
All right. Yeah, you had a good one too?
Mm-hmm.
Are we learning not to use the bad words anymore?
Yeah.
Okay, good. All right, so I'm gonna go upstairs, check out Alexis's channel. Even if there is no content, hit that subscribe button for your kids, and there will be later. I've watched some of her videos.
Also,
and
they're for 11 or 12-year-olds.
Daddy.